Namaste students. Today we will start with the next topic of chapter 20, that is muscles. Locomotion and movement. It takes place by the help of coordinated activity of skeletal system, muscular system and nervous system. We have already studied about skeletal system. Now we will study about muscular system. And later on in the next chapter 21, we will study about nervous system. So let's start with the muscular system. Muscular system, it is made up of muscles. So what are muscles? Muscles are specialized tissue. I repeat, muscles are specialized tissue which are mesodermal in origin. What do you mean by mesodermal origin? You have studied in your class 9 chapter Diversity in the Living Organism, and you have studied that living organism, mainly vertebrates, they are triploblastic. What do you mean by triploblastic? That these organisms, they have 3 germ layers, that is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. Okay. So the muscles in human being, they are derived from second layer, that is the mesoderm. Now about 40 to 50% of body weight of adult human being, it is contributed by muscles. Now let's study about the properties of muscles. Muscles have special properties like excitability, contractility, extensibility and elasticity. These muscles have been classified on the basis of their location, appearance and nature of regulation of their activities. On the basis of their location, muscles are divided into 3 categories, that is skeletal muscles, visceral muscles and cardiac muscles. First of all, let's discuss about skeletal muscles. In your class 9th also, in chapter tissues, you have studied about muscles. Okay. So first of all, skeletal muscles. As the name indicate, skeletal muscles, they are closely associated with the skeletal components of the body. These skeletal muscles, when we see them under microscope, they have striped appearance. So that's why they are also known as striated muscles, because of the presence of alternate dark and light bands. Now, next point is that the activity of the skeletal muscles are under voluntary control of nervous system. So that's why these muscles are also known as voluntary muscles, because their control is under the control of will of person. If you want to move your hand, you can move. Okay, so they are under the control of your will. So that's why they are known as voluntary muscles. Now, what is the function of skeletal muscles? These skeletal muscles, they are involved in locomotory actions and changes in body posture. Now, let's start with the next muscle, that is visceral muscles. These visceral muscles, they are located in inner walls of hollow visceral organs like alimentary canal and reproductive tract, etc. These muscles, visceral muscles, when we see them under microscope, they do not show any striped appearance. They do not have any alternate dark and light bands. So these muscles, they have smooth appearance. So that's why they are also known as smooth muscles or non-striated muscles. Next is visceral muscles. Their activities are not under voluntary control of nervous system. So that's why these muscles are also known as involuntary muscles. Next is function of visceral muscles. Visceral muscles, they are present in alimentary canal. So they help in the transportation of food, and in reproductive tract, like in females, they help in the movement of gametes. Next category of of the muscles are cardiac muscles. As the name indicates, cardiac word is related to heart. So it means these muscles are known as muscles of heart and they are present only in the heart. These muscles, they have branches. No other muscles, skeletal muscles and visceral muscles, they do not have branches, whereas cardiac muscles, they have branches. When we see cardiac muscles under microscope, they have striped appearance. So it means they are striated muscles. Okay, so what is the function of cardiac muscles? It helps in the regulation of cardiac activity. It controls the movement of heart, or you can say it controls the heartbeat. Now, in this chapter, we are studying about movement and locomotion. And I told you when we have discussed about the types of muscles that movement and locomotion, it is affected by the skeletal muscles. About skeletal muscles in detail. As you can see in the diagram, skeletal muscles, they are made up of large number of muscle bundles known as fascicles. And these fascicles or muscle bundles, they are held together by a connective tissue layer called fascia. Now, the muscle bundles are further made up of large number of muscle fibers, and these muscle fibers are known as muscle cells. You can see in the diagram. Okay, so skeletal muscle is made up of muscle bundles or fascicles. Muscle bundles are made up of muscle cells or muscle fibers. Okay, so first of all, muscle cell or muscle fiber. What is the structure of muscle cell? Muscle cell, it's plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is outer covering. Outer covering of the muscle cell is known as sarcolemma. What it is known as? Sarcolemma. And the cytoplasm of the muscle cell is known as sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm of the muscle cell, it is syncytium. S-Y-N-C-I-T-I-U-M. What do you mean by syncytium? Syncytium means when a cell has large number of nucleus. When large number of nucleus are present inside the cell, that condition is known as syncytium. Okay, so the plasma membrane of the muscle cell is known as sarcolemma. Cytoplasm is known as sarcoplasm, and the nucleus are many, so this condition is known as syncytium. Now the endoplasmic reticulum of the muscle cell are known as sarcoplasmic reticulum. What they are known as? Sarcoplasmic reticulum. And these sarcoplasmic reticulum of muscle cells, they have a special property of storing calcium. These sarcoplasmic reticulum, they store large amount of calcium ion in them. So later on you will study when we will do the mechanism of muscle contraction, what is the role of calcium ion in muscle contraction. Okay. So sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is a specialized endoplasmic reticulum present in muscle cell, it is a storage house of calcium ion. Now the muscle cells, they also have a large number of parallelly arranged filament-like structures known as myofilaments or myofibrils. Please don't get confused. We'll revise once again. Skeletal muscles, they are made up of large number of muscle bundles. Muscle bundles are made up of muscle fiber or muscle cell. Now these muscle cells further have large number of parallelly arranged filaments known as myofilaments or myofibril. Okay, now let's discuss about the myofibrils. Each myofibril, when we have studied their appearance of skeletal muscles, we were saying that skeletal muscles, they are striated in appearance. They have alternate dark and light band, which give them striped appearance. Okay, so from where these muscles have striped appearance? Why they have alternate dark and light bands? The answer lies in the structure of myofibril. Now each myofibril, they have alternate dark and light band. So where the alternate dark and light bands are present? They are present in myofibril. And where myofibril are present? Myofibril are present inside the muscle cell. So these myofibrils, they have striped or striated appearance due to distribution pattern of two important proteins. Two important contractile proteins which are actin and myosin. Okay, so these two important protein, actin and myosin, they provide striped appearance to the striated muscles or skeletal muscles. Now these two proteins, actin and myosin, they give light and dark band. Actin protein, it forms the light band, whereas myosin protein forms the dark band. Light band is known as I band or isotropic band, and dark band is known as A band or anisotropic. Let's discuss about the structure of myofibril in detail.
Each muscle fiber or muscle cell are made up of large number of longitudinal filaments known as myofibril or myofilament. The myofibril or myofilament has alternate dark and light bands on it. Each dark and light bands are made up of two contractile proteins known as actin and myosin. The light band contain actin and is called I band or isotropic band, and the dark band contain myosin and it is known as anisotropic band or A band. Both the proteins actin and myosin, they are arranged as a rod-like structures parallel to each other and also to the longitudinal axis of the myofibril. You can see in the diagram that actin filaments, they are thinner as compared to the myosin filament. So that's why actin filaments are also known as thin filament, whereas myosin filament are known as thick filament. In the center of each I band, you can see in the center of each I band, Z line is present. It is known as Z disc is written here. It is also known as Z line. Zigzag line is present. This is an elastic fiber, and this Z line, it bisects the actin filaments and it helps to hold the actin filaments together. Next is, you can see the thick filaments in the band are also held together in the middle of the A band by, you can see, these are held together in the middle by a line known as M line. Okay, you can see here it is M line. So same is the function of M line like Z line, that these M line, they hold the thick filament or actin filaments together. The A band and I band are arranged alternately. You can see I, then again it will be A. So I is light band, dark band, light band, dark band. So these light and dark band or I or A band, they are arranged alternately throughout the length of the myofibril. The portion of myofibril between two successive Z line, that is known as sarcomere. What it is known as? It is known as sarcomere, and sarcomere is known as the functional unit of contraction. What it is known as? It is known as the functional unit of contraction. Okay, I hope it's clear to everyone. In a resting state, what happens? The edges of thin filament, these are thin filament are actin filament. So edges of thin filament on the either side of the thick filament partially overlap the free ends of the thick filament, leaving the central portion of the thick filament. Okay, this central portion of thick filament, it is not overlapped by thin filament. So this zone where thin filament, they do not overlap thick filament, is known as H zone. I hope it's clear to everyone. So let's revise once again the structure of myofibril. Myofibril, it contains actin and myosin protein. Actin protein are known as thin filament, whereas myosin protein are known as thick filament. These thick and thin filament, they are arranged longitudinally parallel to each other. Now, the thin filament, they are held together by a Z line, whereas thick filament, myosin, they are held together by M line. These thin filament actin, they overlap the free edges of thick filament. You can see the overlapping of the thin filament and thick filament. And in the central region, the thick filament, they are not overlapped by the thin filament, that is myosin, they are not overlapped by the actin. Now this region where actin are absent or thin filament are absent, that is known as H zone. And the region between the two Z line is known as sarcomere, and sarcomere is known as the functional unit of contraction. Okay, with this, structure of myofibril is complete.